Call of Duty boy himself, Kyler Murray, I think is Corey's first man.
Yeah, this one's tough. A little bit of a fall from grace after that ACL tear a few years ago. Um, I think Joe has the graphic for the stats up, but I think it was 21-22 seasons or 2021 seasons. Yeah, there we go. 2021. Guy was a stud. You see 23.7 points a game, 21.5, and then a fall off here. And so I think simply put, he has a lack of weapons on offense. McBride is obviously a standout at tight end there. Marvin Harrison Jr., massive disappointment in his first year. Then you have Wilson there, wide receiver 2, just very uninspiring, average. You have obviously a good running back behind him at James Conner. So I don't know. I think pending like a Marvin Harrison Jr. breakout, I just don't see it this year again. I think he has another kind of like middling year where it just gives you games where he puts up like 6 points, 6 to 10 points. And that's just not what you need out of a quarterback. So Call of Duty's coming out in October, Black Ops 7, I think it is. That's always a risk for him as well to fall off a cliff there. And yeah, I don't know. I'm not inspired by their offensive coordinator, Petzing. They kept him for a second year. And I know a lot of fans over in the Arizona subreddit were very pissed off about that. So it seems like the guy has a very strong running scheme, but his passing scheme is obviously leaving a lot to be desired. So Keith and I had a bit of a trade here in our own Dynasty League, which Joe has strong opinions on. I ended up moving off of Kyler and what ended up being Cam Ward for Joe Burrow. Obviously, I'm a little bit biased here being a Bengals fan and think it was a great trade. But yeah, I'm just looking for somebody more consistent at the end of the day. Even in a Superflex league where you have 2 quarterbacks starting, it's just tough to stomach his performance lately. And I do think there's a world where he could bounce back and, turn the wheels and turn the Jets back on and have a great rushing season and have an uptick in fantasy points again. But it's just, I haven't been inspired lately. So I don't know how you guys feel.
I think as time goes on and the rushing upside starts to decline, I'm already saying, hey, if you own Kyler Murray, get rid of him. At this point, like you could just be using waiver wire quarterbacks every week and getting the same inconsistent results.
And I'm not even, to clarify, saying this guy is someone you should just go like drop to the waiver wire. I think he's a serviceable quarterback too, but me personally, like in our league that we keep referencing, like I'm trying to contend right now and I just want somebody more consistent. If you can shell out for like a top 5 quarterback like Joe Burrow or something like that, like I did, I just think it's a sell.
I'd agree as well. And probably a bad example because I did buy Kyler Murray, but it was more so because I was getting Cam Ward. I've got a stopgap quarterback moving forward in Ward, who's somebody I actually really believe in. And he may be making his way either into the market or the forge here for me here pretty soon. But with Kyler, you guys mentioned trust a lot. And to have somebody on your team that, number one, you don't like starting, and secondly, you could have a 30-point outing or a 4-point outing out of, that drives me absolutely nuts, and I can't handle it. So for that reason alone, I want to move off Kyler. But also, I think, you kind of realize that Cliff Kingsbury, pretty dang good offensive coordinator, and he put him in schemes where he was able to succeed and generate a lot of rushing production. You didn't really see that this year with Jonathan Gannon taking over the Cardinals. I don't see the explosive arm anymore that we used to see with Kyler, and he almost plays scared. Like he'll roll out of the pocket and just kind of check down when those are the times he should be taking shots because he's opening up the field. So I don't like what I see either. I think we're all in alignment that Kyler is somebody you want to get rid of. If you could like get a late one out of him, you definitely need to do that, or package him with another player to hopefully get back in a quarterback that you can rely on for consistent production.
Yeah, I don't think he can see over his O line. Being dead ass. Like I don't think he can.
That's why he's always in the gun.
Yeah.
When was the last time you saw Kyler under center?
And he's got to do it with his legs for you. I mean, he's not the type of quarterback that's like a pure pocket passer and has like a massive arm. I'm not saying he doesn't have any arm talent, but I don't know. I feel bad that ACL injury happened because I do think, like he said, he is playing a little scared. And like, I don't blame the guy after that happening, but he's just got to do it with his legs and get those rushing touchdowns. And it just hasn't been there lately.